Job searching can be tough enough, but what if I told you that many people make small, avoidable mistakes that negatively impact their chances? In part one of this series, I shared the first 5 mistakes that keep job seekers stuck. Today, we're going to tackle the next 5, mistakes 6 through 10. And trust me, some of these are so subtle, you might not even give them a thought. So stick with me because at the end of this video, you'll have a much better idea of how to avoid these pitfalls and keep your job search moving forward. Before we begin, my name is Doug with Career IQ. I'm a recruiter, a business leader, and a career coach who's directly helped well over 1,000 clients, and I've been quoted for career advice in multiple major publications. Be sure to check out the description below where you can find out how to get my Fast Track Job Search Bootcamp and a free 7-day job search Kickstart as a gift from me. Let's dig in. So let's jump right in with our first mistake in today's video, a poor or questionable online presence. In today's world, our online presence is just as important as our resume, believe it or not. Employers and recruiters almost always look you up online, usually on LinkedIn first, but trust me, you're going to get a Google search and a social media scan too. So let's talk about LinkedIn first. You know, regardless of how you feel about LinkedIn, an outdated, incomplete, or even a non-existent LinkedIn page can have an impact. If you're portraying yourself as a professional in your career space and your LinkedIn doesn't reinforce that, you could be missing opportunities. Plus keep in mind, LinkedIn is the primary place where most recruiters are going to source out candidates. Next, if you've been fired, laid off, or you're just fed up with work, I get it. It's frustrating. Emotions can be high and you may want to vent. Think twice. Is that 30 seconds to a minute of letting them have it and getting some more likes worth tarnishing your reputation and causing frustration in pursuing an opportunity that might be much better for you? What's the fix? Start with LinkedIn. Update your headline so it highlights your expertise, not just your job title. For example, instead of wasting this space with the name of your most recent company, say marketing specialist, content strategy, and social media growth. Use words that recruiters may search. Fill out or update your about section and add your skills, your accomplishments, and a professional looking photo. Clean up your social media profiles. No matter how good it felt to make that post, make sure that nothing publicly available could raise red flags. Think of your online presence as your digital reputation. Like it or not, it matters. So make sure it helps and not hurts you. Our next mistake, not following up. Believe it or not, this is surprisingly common. Too many job seekers treat their application and interview as it's the finish line, when in reality, it's just a halfway point. They may hit send or walk out of an interview and then just wait. The problem? Silence can communicate disinterest to a hiring manager. Without a follow-up, you blend into the crowd of other candidates who came and went. On top of that, it's easy for you to just get lost in the shuffle of a busy recruiter. I completely understand that after all this hard work, it would be nice for them to reach out to us and update us and give us some clarity. However, that's just not how it works. By not following up, you're missing a chance to show interest and stand out. Imagine 2 candidates. Candidate A sends in an application or leaves an interview and just waits. That's it. Candidate B does their best to make a connection after the application or sends a thoughtful thank you email within 24 hours and then checks back after a week with a short professional message. Who do you think is going to go to the top of the pile? The fix? Simply make reaching out and following up a normal part of your job search strategy. After an interview, send a thank you email within 24 hours. Keep it short, but mention something specific from the conversation and reinforce your enthusiasm. To the best of your ability, make connections after application. If there's no communication with an employer for a week or 2 after an interview, send a polite check-in email. Most job seekers skip this step, which means the ones that do follow up stand out in a very positive way. And remember, following up is not pushy, it's professional. Moving on to our next mistake, having a negative or desperate attitude. I know that job search can be frustrating. Rejections, long waits, ghosting, it can wear you out. But letting negativity and desperation creep into your conversations will come across more than you might think. It can come out in the form of bitter attitudes about past employers or negative undertones about the hiring process, or maybe even another extreme could be sounding so desperate that you'd be willing to take anything that they offer you. Honestly, there have been times when I've coached clients that I would never hire because of their attitude. Employers pick up on this, and this makes them hesitant. They want someone who is confident and capable and positive. So here's the fix. First, be willing to self reflect and be honest with yourself, not only about your attitude toward your job search, but also the impression that you may be leaving on others. You may need to start to reframe rejection and negative experiences in your mind. Instead of seeing failure in a no from an employer, determine that you'll use this as a prompt to continue to refine your job search and your strategy. Keep your conversations with an employer solution focused, forward thinking. Don't camp in the past. That rarely produces anything worthwhile. Show enthusiasm for the future rather than frustration of the past. Employers hire people they believe will bring positive energy and problem solving skills to the team. Be that person. The next job seeker mistake, in a competitive job market, this might be something that many people never consider, and that is the mistake of only looking for full-time permanent jobs and ignoring contract, freelance, and even temp to hire opportunities. Now, of course, I understand most people want stability and benefits, and that's natural. But by ignoring these roles, you may be slowing down your job search, at least to some degree. In today's market, you have to stay flexible. Not only do these roles keep some income flowing in, but they also provide some consistency and some engagement on your resume. Some might think contract work might reflect negatively on their resume, but contract work has become very common and certainly not worse than blank space on your resume. On that note, many companies start with contract roles because it's faster for them to onboard somebody and really less risky for them. And guess what? A number of these contract roles can eventually convert to employee roles after they've had an opportunity to see what a great candidate you are. So the fix is obvious. Stay open to alternative opportunities. Explore contract work in your field. Say yes to short-term projects that let you showcase your skills, and consider some temp to hire roles as a foot in the door. This will not only keep your skills sharp, but your network growing. Before we cover the last one, while you're here, take a minute to drop a comment below and tell me what kind of hurdles that you've run into in your job search. I would love to hear from you. And the last mistake in our series, stopping before the finish line. One of the biggest mistakes that many job seekers make isn't really about their resume or their interview answers or even their networking skills. It's about stamina. Too many people start strong, send out a burst of applications, face a few rejections or maybe some silence, and then just lose steam. Here's the reality. Job searching is rarely a straight line. It's more like a marathon. You don't run 3 miles, hit a wall, and quit. You keep going because the finish line is ahead, even if you can't see it yet. Think of every application, every conversation, every interview as building momentum. You may not know which one will create a breakthrough, but if you stop too soon, you never give yourself a chance to find out. To fix this, treat the process like a long game, not a sprint. You'll build some endurance. Create a routine that keeps you moving forward even on tough days. For example, commit to send out 3 new applications before lunch or reach out to 2 new contacts each week. And very important, celebrate small wins, a recruiting call, a networking coffee, a LinkedIn response, because these are signs of progress. The people who ultimately land great opportunities aren't always the one that had the straightest path. They're the ones that kept moving even when they were frustrated. There is a guarantee with quitting, but it's not necessarily the result that you likely want. Persistence and smart strategy keep you in the game long enough to win. Remember, landing a job isn't always just about skills and experience. It's about strategy, persistence, and avoiding the traps that many job seekers fall into. If you can stay consistent and keep improving your approach, you can find the right opportunity. If you haven't watched part 1 of this 2-part series yet, go and check it out. It covers the first 5 mistakes, and together, these videos give you a more complete roadmap of things not to do in your job search and how to fix them. I'll link it at the end of this video and down in the description. If you'd like more information like this to help you in your job search, be sure to like and subscribe and check out my links in the description below. There you're going to find out how to get my fast track job search bootcamp and also get my free 7-day job search kickstart as my gift from me to you.